Hey yo, what is going on guys? Alejandro here and welcome back to the episode of Magayon. In this episode, we're going to be building the reverse aquarium and zoo. But before we get started, I just want to greet you guys. Happy Pride Month. Yes. And I want to tell you guys that this channel is open to everyone. And I mean everyone. I just want to share with you guys a little bit more of the history of the Philippines and all of that relating to pride later on in the video, because we're gonna have a topic about that. But for now, let's get on with what's happening on screen. This video is gonna be a bit long, so strap yourselves up, buckle up your seatbelts, get some using some of these quotations that I forgot and I just mix and match, and let's get started. And now we are building. This is a continuation from the last episode, because in the last episode we built the Baywalk, but not just the Baywalk. We built the dry line inspired. It's inspired by the dry line in New York, which is a flood protection system for New York, which is not obtrusive. It means that it's not like a literal seawall dividing the people from the water, like harshly. Instead, it uses architecture to make it into a place where people can gather, a social place, a nice place, a park, but also protecting the people living in them. So if you want to see it in action, you want to get a closer look and a deeper explanation to it, I recommend you watch the last episode, which is right here, so that you know a little bit more about it and so that I can get more views and stuff. But anyways, now I'm building the end point. This is not actually this is the end point of the Baywalk in the capital. It's connecting the Baywalk to the Central Park and to the monument, which I still have no name for. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, hit me up in the comments, because I have a lot of great suggestions from you guys and I will be using them. I will be taking inspiration from them in the next episode, which is I'm so excited about the next episode, because I told you guys that after this episode we're going to be working on the old walled city. It takes inspiration from Intramuros, but what it was before, and mixing what it is now to what it could have been if we weren't colonized. So if you aren't familiar with Filipino history, I'm just going to go for a bit of a tangent rather than explaining what's happening on the screen. Magayon is a city Skylines series set in the 2030s of a Philippines that was never colonized. It takes inspiration from various Southeast Asian cities, mainly the Philippines, as I've said, but it mixes a lot of those, and having once again the binding thread, which is the Philippines never colonized. I'm using more of inspiration from other Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, and also because they weren't colonized, and also because they have a lot of assets in the workshops. They are the most in the Southeast Asian category. Palm's Time, yep. If you don't know Palm's Time, I highly suggest you watch his work. He just released a new video yesterday where he made a cinematic of his city, Maya, which is a Japanese city. It's so nice. I tell you guys, it's so very nice. I recommend you watch it, okay? Thank you. So now getting back on the video, yeah, we're going to be building the walled city in the next episode. Yes, I will be showing you a sneak peek of it right here. Oop. Yes, we're gonna be using a lot of Thai assets because it's the only thing in the workshop, and I don't want to spend too much time like creating my own like procedural objects. I don't know the procedural objects, by the way. Yeah, but I didn't use that for this episode. I will be using that in the next one, and yeah, I will be talking more about that once we actually are in the next episode. But for now, let's get back to what we're doing right here. So now you'd see me place these various stuff. These are not various stuff. I'm changing the nodes, but later on I just left them. I just made the nodes smaller so that they would have a little bit more space, and I'm using these network pathways so that the height would go up, but I won't have the issues of the terrain, like using the terrain tool, because it's a bit hassleless, and also so that the terrain and the trees won't be an issue, so that the trees would still be placed on top, because I will be placing a lot of bushes here, because I don't intend this to be a very very heavy in tall trees. I'm gonna keep it low in height, not low in detail. It's gonna be a very detailed place because it's an important place, and I have a hierarchy for the different like places, and there are places which are higher detailed, like these ones in the city, and we have lower detailed ones which are just fillers, because I want a city to be big in a sense, but I don't want it to be too laggy, because right now the computer is not designed for city skylines. And yeah, if you want me to have a new computer, wow, advertisement, consider subscribing and follow me on Patreon so that we'd get enough them coins so that we can get a better computer for Magayon in the future, because I want Magayon to last longer than I just want it to last long. I want to finish this series. It's my goal. I'm having so much fun creating this series. In the big picture, I'm having so much fun. But there are some hurdles along the way, but it is what it is. Now I'm just placing these pathways, which are like squiggly, but I wanted them to be a little bit more squiggly, but I don't want to get too much nodes in the city. I don't want to reach the node limit. And yeah, my work is sadly limited by there's a rooster, and it's only 11 p.m. Like, what? But yeah, I live in the province, by the way, so we're gonna be seeing some of that. And oh my god, that chicken is disrespectful right there. You're gonna be fried tomorrow, okay? Okay? Cluck cluck. Oh my god. A little bit of a chicken advertisement right there. I don't mind the chickens. We're gonna eat them tomorrow. We're gonna have fried chicken, glazed chicken. Yes. Okay, we have finished this chicken tangent, and you'd see me place these. Just don't mind the chicken because I'm too lazy to handle that. We're going to be placing these paths, and I didn't want them to be too squiggly. You know what I mean? Because of nodes and stuff. Even though there's a lot of nodes here. Some of you guys said that I should just do invisible paths and just use not a lot of you guys, only one comment. There's a comment that said, why don't you just use invisible pathways and just use networks over it? And I'm like, I already committed to this thing, so I might as well just continue. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I regret in the start of this series, but we learn. And I have unsubscribed to some assets and resubscribed to some, so this is why this video took a little bit longer to make, because it took me 3 days to fix the game, because I updated it and I got the new DLCs. I got the parks and bridges and the trains, because I wanted new metro trains. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna use them. But the bridges, though, I will be using them in the future episodes. God, that chicken is annoying. But yeah, now I'm placing down this fountain in the middle, and it's a water feature, because in the future it's gonna be a little bit hotter. So yeah, once again, did I already say that this was in the future? I had 4 takes for this recording, by the way, because the first one was so messy. But yeah, in the future it's gonna be a little hotter, and this city is set in the 2030s, late 2030s. It's a very futurism type of city, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we're going to be going to the past in the next episode. So anyways, now we're building these water feature, because we need water features so that the people, it also serves as its calming effect. It makes architecture, basically, psychology, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, now we are just adding in a little bit more of these pathways using the node controller and fixing it all up, making it more flowy. It follows the terrain, and thank God for the node controller. Every episode I say node controller, great mod. And yeah, without it, this wouldn't no possible, no nothing, no anything, no Magayon. Magayon would be a very different series, because if you watch the first few episodes, which I don't recommend you doing, because my voice there, I was so inconsistent, and I was so not the one the one today. It was bad. But we've grown, we've changed. We didn't change, we just grown. Yeah, because changing is not. Anyways, yeah, that's that. And you see those two things over there, those two protruding elevated sloped island. I land masses, I will be removing them, because in the original where I took inspiration from, which is this picture right here, this is the Battery Park, and they have a reverse aquarium where you can go inside and see the water level in the glass, like the water level is indicated in the glass, and you'd see what the flood by Super Sandy was tall, how tall the flood was, and how tall the 100-year and the 500-year flood would be. So yeah, it's quite a statement piece. And another reason why I love architecture so much is because you can use architecture. Architecture is a tool. Architecture is amazing. Architecture is so nice. And architecture is not only designing buildings, but it's also learning about the history, the people, the everything, and all this and all that. And that's why I'm very grateful that we have city skylines. It's a nice pastime for me. Like, I'm not only playing a game, but I'm also learning a lot of stuff. The same with Minecraft. I've grown up with Minecraft, so that's that. Without Minecraft, I don't think I would have been aware of architecture in the first place. And as the days go by, it just keeps getting better and better. And yeah, adding in a little bit more of these foliage right here. I don't care if the game is laggy here. All I want is this place to look amazing, because this is a center point. It's a center point because there's a centerpiece, the fountain. And speaking of center, fountain, circle, we have these two things right here on each corner facing the monument. I changed them later on. These are view decks, but I changed them later on into these kiosks type of thing. It's like a seating area where people can like view the city and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that looks so nice. And I'm placing bushes on the sides so that they won't block the view for people going down and looking at the monument. Yeah, it's one of the protected vistas of the city, one of the smaller ones, because we have bigger ones, as you can see right here, that is like protecting the views of the Capitol building. And we're going to be having a lot more of those protected vistas. And I'm going to now to be showing you some pictures of this park from the Baywalk. And yeah, that's that. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it gorgeous? Every time that I go on first person in this game, I'm always in awe with how beautiful it is. I know it's like very narcissistic of me, but yeah, if nobody is, you just have to hype yourself up so that you'd want to create more things. And I'm so glad that you guys have a lot of nice comments and very constructive criticism with this city, because without you guys, I would just be here playing with myself and looking at things and not actually, it's better to have a community where people are interested so that you can keep on going and it inspires you to continue on the series. And yeah, I think I'm just going to be adding a little more detailing, adding in bushes and more park stuff. And I think now is a perfect time. It's the middle of the video and I'm going to be talking about the Pride Law in Magayon. Since it's June, which is Pride Month, hey fellow people, anyone, hit me up in the comment. And yeah, so the Philippines, if you didn't know, before the Spanish came, they were very progressive in that area, and gay people and trans people, they were just basically treated as equals. And the LGBT community was like part of even the folklore, the mythology. We have LGBT gods and deities, and I think a lot of our history has sadly been erased due to colonialism. And if you want to and a bit of how the history has maintained, like how the Philippines is gender neutral, is its language, because we don't have any pronouns gender specific. We don't have any gender specific pronouns, and most of the words in Tagalog and in Filipino that end with a, like and stuff, or sound masculine, actually are gender neutral. In the next episode, I will be talking more about that. Like lakan can be used, datu can be used for female, and raha can also be used for men. So yeah, we're gonna be talking more about that. And if you guys have any suggestion for the pre-colonial history of the Philippines, hit me up in the comments so that when I make the next episode, I would have a little bit more of a knowledge with that. And yeah, so the Pride lore, but before we get back to the Pride lore, something happened on the screen and I have to address it immediately before I get distracted again. And here we're placing the reverse aquarium. These buildings are from the university DLC. These are commercial buildings, and I just I sunk them down to the water level, so that, yeah, since it's a reverse aquarium, the water is already in the mirror, but we don't have like huge glass like from the original one, so I just use what's in the game, and these are that. But yeah, just got distracted by notification right there. I'm gonna turn off do not disturb, because I normally record at like 1 a.m 2 a.m when everybody's asleep, but I decided, because I'm recording a little bit too late. But yeah, anyways, this is a reverse aquarium. You can have reverse aquarium. One on reverse ilog pasig. Speaking of river, in the next episodes we're gonna be building the river. Yeah. Before I get distracted, once again, I'm just changing them, and yeah, you can access them from across the street, or I will be elevating some parts of them so that you can access them from the Baywalk. Yeah, I'm not gonna be using the thing you saw a while ago, which I forgot to address, which was like the wavy tree thing. Yeah, I'm gonna be changing that into something like this. So underneath the park, it's actually a museum of water, nature, animal, aquatic museum, something like that. If you have any suggestions for what this would be. And we placed a park on the roof of that building. So yeah, I love architecture, guys, and I'm so grateful that I have a medium to share my passion with people who actually care about them, because people don't actually understand what I'm talking about in our house, specifically now that the pandemic is in the Philippines. It's still going on worse. It's still going on as bad as it was before. And yeah, just so sad to see other countries already recovering from the pandemic while we are still here battling with it. But anyways, on the lighter note, let's get back to the video now. Yeah, changing the heights and stuff. I'm gonna get back to the Pride Law because we're gonna be continuing with it. And yeah, speaking of mythologies and the Pride Law and how the Philippines was before, how progressive it was, and how colonialism was destroyed, I'd like to talk about that more in the future, in the upcoming episode. So if you guys have any knowledge on pre-colonial history, specifically the systems of government before, hit me out in the comment, like name suggestions for places. But yeah, I totally forgot what I was talking about because of, yeah, I get so easily distracted, you guys, and specifically this video is quite long and I should have cut it, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, since this series we're not colonized, I'm taking inspiration from other Southeast Asian cities, and specifically Thailand, and because it wasn't colonized, and I've been researching a lot about them and a lot about how they did it. But and it was like trade agreements and deals and talks with the Dutch so that they would be colonized. But even though they weren't colonized, they were heavily influenced, which is what Magayon is kind of gonna be like. And yeah, that's that. Let's get back to the video. I'm placing this stair going down so you'd have like access to the water, but the view from the other side is quite ugly right now. A lot of you guys have been asking if I'm gonna publish the save game and the map with the roads. I will be publishing it in the future, but I'm not quite sure when, because the city is still in its very early stages, and I just went through with it. I started even though it was still, I just wanted to, the series was like getting to know as it goes, like it just goes along as it goes along. I was learning what the series is as it goes along, and I think I found the essence of the series as we went along, because yeah, the hardest part is starting, so that first step is the hardest part, and thankfully I took the first step like at the beginning of the year, because yeah, I have something to look forward to every other day, and yeah, it brings joy. City Skylines is my therapy. Therapy is expensive, so City Skylines is like only a few dollars, and yeah, but yeah, placing down parks, placing down these things. all this, all that. I'm gonna be placing a playground later on, and yeah. Hello, my God, are you still guys? Are you still watching? If you're still watching, please like this video and subscribe. Wow, 20 minutes have passed. This is literally so long. The last video that I had 30 minutes long was the first one, and the one where I built Bayview City, which is like a city within a city. It's a township basically. I didn't know what that was before. It was essentially like BGC. Here's a picture of that. If you want to watch it, I kind of highly recommend you watch it because it was one of my higher produced videos. Because some of my videos, yeah, we have some that we take a lot of time doing and end up scrappy, so that we just restart and just keep things, as good as it can get. So now you'd see me place these elevated things, and there are going to be like shops on them, on the sides where you can access on top of the park, restaurants and stuff. And I'm changing this to green, by the way, because the white is a little bit stark in comparison to the places. And I also wanted to, since I can't put like grass there, I just changed it to green because yeah, it blends in seamlessly with the surroundings. And I will be changing the glass ones, the ones that have windows on them, to white to give it a little bit more variation. And because if it's all green, it kind of looks kind of weird. I want to mix the nature with the built environment. And yeah, now I'm placing down these restaurants, Burger King, McDonald's, and Starbucks. There's a lot of Starbucks here in this city because for some reason the Magayons love to drink coffee, and for some reason because I love coffee, so I just want to put a little bit of myself in the series. I love coffee, so we have a lot of Starbucks, but I don't often go to Starbucks because it's quite expensive and I don't want to spend a lot of money for a cup of coffee that costs so much when I can just buy one in the store and just put ice on it at home. And sadly, we can't go outside still. We can't go to the malls. Yes. So, since I can't go outside, I just built Mayon outside, which is here in City Skylines. Yes. Modern day problems require modern day solutions. But it's still, you still can't substitute going outside in real life with building the outside world of your liking in game. Yeah, it's a bit sad, but it is what it is. I can't do I can't do much about it right now because the people in power sadly is, it's a bit crappy. I'm being honest. Yes, if Filipinos are watching, you'd know how the pandemic was handled and how badly it was handled. And if you want to have change in the system, well, this became a political advertisement. But no, I just want to remind you guys, because most of my demographics are 18 years old and above, and the Philippines is one of the highest viewers. If you're not registered to vote yet, register now, even though I myself haven't. I will be, because once again, I can't go outside. Yeah, register to vote. The only way we can change the fate of our country is through the elections. And those running for the elections, yeah, it's quite sad. Yeah, that's why I don't go on the news very often anymore, because when I sometimes I see bad things. That's why I'm focusing all my time on YouTube and somewhat education, because education is the foundation of our nation. Education is how countries can progress, especially in this time in the 21st century, because most of the economies are driven by creatives, by the tech, by people who are advanced, who are forward thinkers. So, and that's that. And I'm so glad that I can be part of that train. I'm so glad that I found architecture. I'm just basically blabbering because the video is going on for too long. Placing down palm trees. I don't know what these are. Actually, these are palm trees, but they have a white stem. And these are kind of a more higher class tree. I don't know, but we have that in BGC. When I went there like once, and I was mesmerized because I haven't seen a tall building before in my life. And all the time that I spent like walking through the BGC, which is I'm going to be building BGC in future episodes after we build the old walled city. Yes, stay tuned for that. Or after we build basta in the future. And yeah, I was just thinking a lot all the time. I just kept looking up and my neck was hurting. So we decided to go into the mall. And yeah, and we went to Starbucks. Wow, amazing story, Alejandra. You're very sharing. And yeah, you see amazing views right there. You saw the view of the city. Adding in a little bit more trees. I don't care if there are a lot of trees here. This is a very spatial place. This is a very iconic place. I'm copying this what do you call this? Wave breaker, because we have that in the Baywalk in Manila, and I just added that because why not? I'm not actually being 100% not honest. I'm not 100% copying the thing. I'm just taking the essence of the place and putting that in game. So yeah, if you like what you see, I hope you like what you see, because I like what I see. Yeah, hit me up in the comments if you have any suggestions for what you want to see in the next episode. As you can see, I'm just finishing off this thing right here, which is the other side of the mall, of the museum. Yeah, I showed you guys the side where is by the water, and this side is by the road, and people can have access through it with the path there. I don't know, let's just imagine that there's underground parking there, but yeah, I can't do that much because of how I designed the city to be and the scaling that it has. It's a little bit scaled down, and in the next episode I will be using procedural objects to scale down buildings, because a lot of buildings in the workshop are huge, and because they're actually huge in real life, and the city is not huge. If you compare this to other cities, City Skyline series, this is somewhat similar to Oceania, but Oceania is more of a smaller in the sense of like in a different sense, but this one is literally smaller. But yeah, sadly this is the end of the video. I think I've said what I needed to say. Hopefully I'll just be talking about them in the next episodes. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, comment down below what you want to see next, and of course don't forget to subscribe. Only 20% of you guys, 40% of you guys, wow, then Alejandro is sharing fake data to just get subscribers. No, only 40% of you guys have subscribed to this channel, and I'm quite excited for what's to come in this series. So if you're excited for what's to come, I highly recommend you subscribe and comment down below as much as you can, because that's how the algorithm likes that. And yeah, if you want to support me even more in creating higher quality videos and more frequent videos, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Alejandro, and get exclusive content and early access to my videos and more in-depth look into things. And yeah, you can also follow me on Instagram, by the way. Yeah, that's sadly the end of the video. You can see the videos going darker. And yeah, this is Alejandro signing off. Bye.